Have you been wondering if your twin flame journey is a trick or truth? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you 4 tips to help your perception become your reality. Let's go! Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I am a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today's topic is, have you been wondering if your twin flame journey is a trick or truth? Well, if you've been following me for the past couple months, and I've been talking over and over about the catch-22 of 2 sides to every coin, about every situation of our life as far as our perception, how we handle things, how we perceive things, the identity of ourselves having 2 different sides to us that is expanding into all that is. Well, at the end of the day, all of this boils down to and depends upon your own perception. And, you know, we do have free will, but we got to remember that we're the co-creators of our own reality. And so really, how do we distinguish between what is the truth or reality and what is a false illusion or our perception of a situation or a circumstances? And so in, this timeline of Happy Halloween, by the way, so I come to you today as the butterfly goddess, and this is an illusion, right? This is like a perception. You could see me as being like, oh, I'm just fitting in for the Halloween, by the way, or it could be looking goofy. Depends on your perception, right? So I want to help you with 4 tips that will help you learn to understand how your perception creates your reality. But before we do, let's talk about what this means and how it relates to your twin flame journey. Because so many people are out there feeling tricked. They're feeling that this is false, that this twin flame journey isn't even real, right? And how can I trust myself? How can I trust my guidance? I've been tricked in some way. And I mentioned last video that this video was coming here with this full moon in Taurus on October the 24th, 2018. So if you did not watch last week's video, I would highly suggest you go back and watch that. In addition, if you have not watched prior videos over the last couple months, even last year, I suggest you go do that. But those 2 sides of the coin has been really coming over the last couple months. And if you've not got caught up to speed with what this really means and some other detail, go back and watch those. But as always, sometimes we hear something a different way. We create new perception. And so I was shown by guidance to present maybe some similar information, but in a whole new way today, because this is a big deal. We got to erase the perception that we have on this twin flame journey and recreate it from coming from a place of reality if we want it to be a reality. Because that's the key, is you do get to co-create this. And whatever you see, you believe, and whatever you believe, you will become. Okay? So if you're still stuck on, is this real or is this not, then of course, you're going to be stuck in that pattern of it's not going to necessarily manifest. You got to come into the truth of that reality. You got to find your truth. That's how these 4 tips are going to help you do that. But let's first talk about then, okay, so reality really is like a tangible fact, something that we can attain and that we can believe, that helps us believe, I should say. And our perception then is really variable perception. It's a variable vision that we send out in a perception that's creating our external reality to trigger internal circumstances for a reflection that we need to create a new reality. And so what you see is what you get. So I want to start by showing you some of the illusion tricks and ideas so you can understand what this is saying. So I'm going to show you, these are the typical standard different illusion, optical illusions. So as you can see this, I'm going to try to get this straight. Do you see an old woman or do you see a young woman, right? And so which is real? Is it an old woman or is it a young woman? Well, it's both, because it determines whether you see the old woman or the young woman is your perception of what you choose in that. And so same thing here. I like this one because I'm a Leo. You know, this little Leo here, this little cat sees this courageous lion, but it's really just a little kitten that has the inner drive of that courageous lion, right? So like this is what we actually need to create in our inner world, is a feeling of being that courageous lion, even if we are the little kitten, but it's a manner of perception of what you see and what you believe. Here's another one. So do you see two faces in that, or do you see the vessel, the goblet, the cup that's creating the Holy Grail vessel that is being filled up with divine light and love that gives us the gift of unconditional love in the chalice? And you know, and when it comes to the twin flame journey, really, this is the masculine and the feminine sides of not only ourselves, but us with the beloved that's creating these illusions to begin with. But we need them to come in to create whatever illusion we need to get whatever perception out of that we need in order for it to trigger us to create the reality. So it doesn't really matter if you see the goblet and the wine glass there, or it doesn't matter if you see the two faces, they both exist to create the entire illusion and perception of it. It takes both of that to get to the outcome of what it is. Okay? And both, that means is one wrong? Wouldn't it take both of those to create either or? And you know, when it comes to a journey of a twin flame journey, it takes the duality and the contrast of two faces to create one goblet between the one twin and the other twin, creating these paradigms and what are really opposite to give us an illusion of the bigger picture of what it is that we came here to create and manifest into form. But again, it's not that either is right or wrong. And here's another one. This is move beyond your illusion and change your perceptions. So I don't know if this will show up on the video or not, but what I want to do is I want you to just look into that eye. And, you know, if you're looking into this card, it gives an illusion that everything around it, that eye, is moving. So as I look at this, I see flashing going like this. Now going on to the video, it might take that out. But point being is, you know, where is your perception in this? What are you seeing? Because whatever you see is really what you're going to make your reality. At the end of the day, it just is. So let's talk then about how that happens. How does our perception become our reality? And then we'll talk about the ways. So first of all, it's our experiences, number one. Our experiences is a culmination of information that we go through situations to create this perceived data that becomes our truth based on what illusion we see. So we're basing our truth on, is it the faces or is it the goblet? In all reality, it's both, but you've gotten fixated on it's one or the other. And I'm here to tell you it takes both to get there. And we're going to talk about how that relates to your twin flame journey and how some perceptions of your journey are pulling you out of alignment with the true meaning and the essence of that journey. So the number two then becomes that we create assumptions then. So number one is it takes our experiences. That now number two, based on those experiences and how we process that data and that information to create our truth, we formulate assumptions based on that data to be our truth. And in conclusion of that data, then we process that data through these experiences to formulate our assumption of right from wrong, basically. Then, and number three is there's an adjusted conclusion that we make out of that. And what we tend to do as humans is we tend to adjust these experiences and this biased data that is the illusion that we are seeing. We can adjust it to create our own truth, to manipulate our own perceptions of what we really want or choose to see. It just happens. So now we have an experience that we gain and create assumptions that we can then adjust those assumptions to create our own conclusion. And then number four is we take, and this is not, by the way, the actions, some of the tips. This is just what's happening in the process of being, is it perception or reality? Or truth or reality? Is it a trick or is it truth? So we take those adjusted conclusions now that we've came to believe as a reality, and then we adjust those when we take action. We take the action based on the belief that we created from the adjusted conclusion of the assumptions we made on the experience. So I ask you, when it comes to your twin flame journey, are you basing your journey on facts or paradox? Because it makes a difference. And it will make a difference in if you align with your beloved and or not. Now, don't forget, we know there's an outcome attached to this. And meaning that the outcome is we signed up for the end result. And it's the journey that we tend to get there. So that means if our journey is taking us towards the twin flame journey, saying, oh, we believe this in truth, we needed that. If our journey is taking us in a direction to say, oh, this has been a trick, I don't even believe in it anymore, well, then we needed that. Because it doesn't matter which side it's on, it takes both. But I can promise you, along the journey, even if it's in this lifetime or in the next, you will continue to sway back and forth between the two people and the goblet along your path. Because you're human. And the human side of us does a few things to that. The human side of us sets us up. We set our own selves up in these, so beware of some of your perceptions. Because we're setting ourselves up for self-deception. And then we buy into our own illusion. And our brain can't see the difference between if this is a trick or a truth. It just doesn't. Our soul knows. Our soul knows if it's the truth or a trick, but it's real easy to want to run and hide and not face your fears and not face the reality. So we can also then set up an illusion to trick us to believe it's not a reality so that we can go back into our comfort zone and avoid what it is we need to take care of or what we need to handle in order to get in alignment with our destiny. The bottom line of this is that says that, you're not trusting yourself. And, you need, basically, let's give an example how this now aligns with your twin flame journey. Maybe you've been getting the downloads, the codes, the signs, one after another, after another, after another, after another, that sent you down a path of belief in this journey, but you then ended up putting timelines on it, and you've been shown timelines. But see, you're creating the continuous string and trail of codes through all these perceptions that are sending out the projection to trigger what you need to keep that reality alive and moving, to then give that back to you in a reflection. But then when they don't match and they don't align, then somehow you believe you've been tricked. But in reality, it means you didn't believe the truth to begin with. Because if you're continuing to receive the signs over and over and over, it's because you are now attracting them in this phase of the journey, and you're attracting them because somewhere underneath of you, you don't believe it to begin with, and you need the sign for you to believe it. And you're in a place of blind faith for the mastery of your personal development. And until you let go of needing that sign and that timeline, you can't complete the next phase of your mastery of what you signed to experience. So you're keeping yourself stuck based on these illusions, and therefore you just keep manifesting what you need. Now here is another really key point in this. You have to take your perception minus your expectation to stay in satisfaction. Because this is where those expectations and conditions and an attachment to an outcome of alignment with your beloved is creating you needing to see those false illusions to come towards you, to give you those, to help you formulate your truth, to trust it. It says you still don't trust it if you haven't believed it yet. And then somewhere underneath of that is still an expectation and an attachment and a condition, and primarily to the outcome. So beware of your own expectations. You can manipulate them through the perception of what you want versus what is really fact or reality, or what you had signed up for, meaning you're really postponing it and you're like prolonging it because you've bought into some illusion that you don't trust to be the truth, because you formulated another assumption and you're taking action in that space. And, you know, this is where people all the time, they tend to feel deceived, not just by, that what they're really missing is they're self-deceiving themselves, but they feel like they're being deceived by guidance that is coming from external forces. And I'm not going to say that that can't happen, but a lot of times people are missing the point, and it's self-deception that is creating the deception you're experiencing. It's not your guides and your angels. They're just allowing you to go down that particular path to get the illusion you need to create your own experience from that angle, to shift you back into yourself, because you've gotten out of alignment with yourself, and your own truth is the point here. And so you had to create a trick for you to find your truth. The bottom line, you have to create the tricks to find your truth if you haven't found your truth. So you might have set yourself up to believe, for instance, I've seen this a lot of twin flames went down a path thinking one twin flame is their twin flame on that journey. It didn't come to pass. And because it didn't come to pass, now they don't believe it, because it didn't align with all the signs they were shown. Now they need a new illusion to self-deception of that reality. And so they are sending out a different signal and different perceptions that are creating new people through the process of a perception, sends out a signal that creates a projection that attracts and triggers the experience you need to show up to give you back the same reflection of your perception that you're sending out. And it becomes the magnet. And now you're getting a new person, a new illusion that, oh my gosh, that wasn't even my twin to begin with, or I don't know if they were or they weren't, because now this person showed up and this person's mimicking the same thing and creating the same path. Now what is real? Now I don't even believe this journey. You just set yourself up for this, is what I'm saying. The brain doesn't see the difference between this trick or truth. So you could keep manifesting and you know, these things that you don't really want into your reality, which is keeping you stuck on the basis of your own illusions. And so now let me just see kind of where I want to sum that up before I share with you the 4 ways to help you shift your perception to align with your truth. Okay? I guess another key with this is, before I do that, one of the things that's coming through very clearly, your perception is your reality as we say that. So the minute you choose your own truth is the minute you get in alignment with empowerment. Okay? So we're talking about part of this mastery is now how do we become empowered and how do we stay empowered? Because when we have these false illusions, we're giving our power away to what is our truth, and we're staying in we're not accepting both sides of that coin and both sides of the illusion, and we've separated what took both of those sides to get us in this truth to begin with. Now we just disempowered ourselves, and we create the same vicious circle of the over and over and the crazy chaos and the illusions that continue to manifest and grow. And now we really get ourselves set up to be like, I don't know which ends up. And I don't know what to believe anymore, which might have been what you needed to surrender and let go, and to get to a place that you have to let go of the expectations and the conditions and surrender to the outcome in blind faith. So how do you remain empowered? Let's talk about that before we talk about the 4 tips to be able to align with your truth, to change your perception to align with your truth. To remain in power, you have to find peace and purity within. The purity of your soul that allows you to find, no matter what, in the middle of chaos, that you found peace. But when you align peace and purity with your perception, you have found empowerment. And that keeps you in your own power. And you're no longer giving your power to anyone, any situation, any circumstances, or any belief. So now let's talk about 4 tips that can help you discern between whether you're experiencing a trick or a truth. So the first one is you need to release toxic beliefs and the projection of others. You know, we've been conditioned. This is part of what we're letting go of, the old thoughts, the old beliefs, the old paradigms, the old patterns. And letting go of all those toxicity projections that has been placed upon us through our experiences of other people that we now perceive to be our own beliefs based on those perceptions of other people. So at the end of the day, that means we have to release the other toxic perceptions from others. Number 1. Number 2. We need to keep our focus present in the now. You know, the only place in the now can we find the innocence in the fact that we needed both sides of this to get where we're at, to have arrived where we're at, into who we are, and to this given moment of this stage of this journey. That it took both sides. It took the trick and it took the truth to be where you are now. So whether it's a trick or it's a truth, you created it. So find the innocence in the fact that you needed both sides of that journey to have arrived at this given moment. Number 3, you need to stay flexible for change. And that means to be open. So that you can, and kind of piggybacks that every given moment is a chance for you to create a new reality. And if you don't like where you're at in this given moment, you can create a new reality. You just have to change your perception and believe you can. So if you're not liking your twin flame journey and you're feeling deceived by it, it's because somewhere along the lines you have deceived yourself and your own thoughts to your belief as to the journey, and you're seeing the side of it that's painful, rejection, abandonment, hurtful, I can't take this anymore, versus the beauty in finding yourself and seeing it from a side of, wow, look how they've helped me develop and who they've helped me become. And the minute you've done that, this is a lesson you have to get. There's no way out of it. That is a lesson you will not skip in your mastery of your ascension twin flame journey. So stay flexible for this change. Stay open to both sides. Keep your focus into this present moment and because it's going to change any given day. You're going to experience both sides. So let go of your toxic perceptions, keep your focus in the now, and stay flexible to change. And number 4, pretty much most importantly, out of all of this, that means practice humility. And how do we practice humility? We're human. We have to honor ourselves. We have to come into a place of cleansing our soul to purify, to find the peace so we can stay in power. But in that cleansing process, we have to realize that we are a human being. We're actually, I should rephrase that, we are a spirit having a human experience. Therefore, let go of the concept and the idea that this is all there is, and that it, like staying stuck on the fact that this is letting go of control, really. Saying you're in control of these things. And in something, the only thing you are in control is your choices of your perception, what you choose to see. But that's where it goes, and that's the free will. But it goes back to there is a destiny. And if you fight that, you're going to stay in the wheel of the circus, and it's letting that go. And in the process, having compassion for yourself and creating the courage that it takes to continue the journey. So you can use the real meaning for this journey to create with. So this humility and practicing humility is a process of cleansing, compassion, courage, and creativity. And you then create your own experience out of this. So stop blaming others. Stop making your circumstances the byproduct of what your perception is, and recreating those projections that keep sending you the same circus of the same circle. Change your perception. It will change your projections. It will change your reality coming in for triggers to give you a new and different reflection. And now you might see the young woman instead of the old lady. But it took the old lady to get you down the path to find the young woman. So in your twin flame journey, it might take the direction of your twin sending you into a different direction to connect with another experience to then get to the end of that will send and shoot you back in another direction. And I agree, this stuff gets mind-blowing confusing. But that's why I'm here to help guide you. That is my mission, is to help you find you. And I'm on this journey just like you are. But I've learned how to put the pain into purpose, to create and to share. And not wallow in my misery. And to come here to put my heart and soul into dressing up like a butterfly goddess to help you see a new way to choose your reality. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing up. And I want to hear from you. And the link below, if you have been seeing your twin flame journey as a trick or a truth, I want to know. Okay? Be sure to like, comment, share the shine. Check out all the ways below that you can glow forward with me. And may you have a happy Halloween if you're celebrating it. Otherwise, just continue to have a happy day in every moment, no matter what. Namaste.